Fuck yes. This is what I call quite the big legendary fucking episode. Because we have Muichiro, the Mist Hashira, having the highest potential as a demon slayer. And animation is just high fucking quality. Let's get into the damn review. So we obviously start off the episode with him freeing himself, having broken out of the water pot, and a bunch of ugly ass fishes trying to attack him and Kotetsu. While this is going on, we finally do get the backstory of Muichiro. The whole thing is that his father was a lumberjack, and unfortunately for him and his wife, they both die. Muichiro's mom dies by a sickness, and Muichiro's dad, in a good effort attempt to try to save his wife, dies by falling from the rocks and, well, landing a very hefty blow onto a rock, just as he had grabbed the herbs. Interestingly enough, we get to see Muichiro's twin jackass brother. Muichiro sounds almost closely to Yorichi, which is quite fascinating, considering they are the bloodline of Yorichi and Kokushibo. So we obviously see that the older brother is more of a jackass than anything else, as he's berating his brother. He doesn't want his brother to basically help others. You know, typical jackass older sibling. And one day, as we see a cool animation of the water, I gotta add, Muichiro sees one of the women from, like, the master, the one who's the head of the Demon Slayer Corps, Lady Amane. And yeah, she goes there on behalf of the master, tries to recruit the two. And imagine if Yuichiro was not such a prick and had accepted this. Trust me, two Mist Hashiras at the same level would be kind of dope. But anyway, so yeah, she gets rejected because older brother's a jackass. Younger brother is so excited to learn of his heritage, and then yeah, Yoichiro has to fucking roast his brother, or, well, disown his family, basically. All pissed off like a fucking maniac. And yeah, that's the last time they talked, with the two having a fight when he decides to harass a woman. Huh. Based to Yoichiro, I guess. But anyway, yeah, shows that the two brothers are basically not in sync. And then suddenly, a demon just walks up in, like, sup guys, I'm about to kill y'all. And yeah, poor Yoichiro, as much as I do dislike him, I don't really want him getting himself get injured, because he does go and protect his brother like an older brother should, and loses his arm. So, just as in that moment, the demon's mocking them, we get this interesting animation of blood, and basically Muichiro explaining to us, the audience, that this is when he fucking snapped. We see him just screaming with true anger before seeing a crack, showing us that this was probably all of his anger that he probably had in him just finally break. And yes, it shows just how high potential Muichiro is, because he fucking pinned this demon, not only crushed his head with a rock somehow, and pinned him with what I would assume to be wooden stakes. And yes, the fucking demon is in pain, because he's just trapped there before dying to the sun. And yes, Yuichiro basically is saying his last words, how he knows he's a piece of shit. He kind of blames himself that Muichiro couldn't do more, and that he hopes that his younger brother is to be saved, because he prays to God and Buddha. And yes, Muichiro is saved, as we see in the next moment. He gets his Demon Slayer mark and completely wipes out these fucking fish before checking on Kotetsu. And yes, this was pretty fucking dope. Back to Upper Moon 5, how he's just harming Haganesuka, and the dude is still going. He even lost his fucking eye, and apparently he didn't even scream. He's just so fucking focused in sharpening the sword that he doesn't even care about the pain around him. That's just how well trained he is. Which, yes, pisses off the Upper Moon. And just as he's gonna go kill the other swordsmith, Muichiro comes in and goes for an attack. Obviously, the Upper Moon is kind of surprised by this. And he was happy for a moment, because he's like, oh, I have the same type of concentration, like a fucking maniac. Only to notice about the Demon Slayer mark, showing that yes, they're all aware about Tanjiro's Demon Slayer mark, which is a problem. Then he realizes that yeah, Muichiro's faster, he managed to cut him. So that pisses him off, and he goes for an octopus-like attack, sending everyone all around. Haganesuka just doesn't give a shit, he grabs back and starts working back on the fucking sword, which even the Upper Moon thinks he's not even sane. Which, I mean, come on, Upper Moon 5. You should know by now that this guy is anything but sane. Muichiro shows that this octopus isn't gonna keep him fucking steady. Having grabbed the sword from his swordsmith on Mori, just so we can see the amazing blue fucking sword that matches him. And it's basically told that he followed the previous swordsmith that was assigned to Muichiro's, or like how the previous one did the sword, which goes to a flashback on how that swordsmith was worried for Muichiro. So we get another scenes of just more badass Muichiro fighting, deflecting, while getting Yoichi's basically final monologue on his brother, and how apparently Muichiro's name, the Mu in Muichiro, stands for limitless power, and that his brother is the chosen one. And we end the scene with quite the fucking visuals, and I gotta say, gotta be 11 out of 10. This fucking episode is hype as fuck. Not only that, it makes the final battle between these two gonna be dope as hell.